1 Thessalonians 5, verse 18 says, there are many, many areas where we don't know the will of God. Many areas. We say, Lord, I wish I knew your will. But I'll tell you one area where you have no doubt about God's will. Okay? 1 Thessalonians 5:18. This is God's will for you. Give thanks in everything. That's it. Okay, you've understood God's will at least in one area. In everything, give thanks. In Ephesians 5:20, it goes a little further and says, in Ephesians 5 and verse 20, it says, always and in everything, all times, all situations. And in 1 Timothy 2, it goes one step even further. All things, all times. 1 Timothy 2:1, it says, give thanks for all people. That's a little more difficult, right? Some of these fellows, you don't feel like giving thanks. But you know that if you're a child of God and you're wholehearted and your life is completely surrendered to Christ, there is absolutely no one on the earth who can harm you. I hope you believe that. Romans 8:28 says, all things work together for good for those who love God. Now, if you don't love God, you're not living according to His purpose, then of course you can have a lot of problems. I'm talking to those who love God and who only want to live for God's will on earth. For such people, I can give you a promise. For whom? You love God. You don't love money and earthly things. You love God. And your only aim in life is to do His will. Here's a promise for you. Every single thing, yes, I mean every single thing, Romans 8:28, will work for your very best. Even if it doesn't look like that right now, it will ultimately work for your very best. Now, if Romans 8:28 had said 99% of things work for our very best, then I would say 99% of things I give thanks. I don't give thanks for things that are working for my harm. No. Why do I give thanks for everything? Because everything works for my good, because I love God and I'm only interested in doing His will. And therefore I can give thanks for all people. Some of those people whom you can't stand, who've done you harm, the problem is not with them. You need to get your eyes open to Romans 8:28. It changed my life completely when I discovered nobody in the world can harm me. Their words cannot harm me, their actions cannot harm me, their attitude cannot harm me. They can destroy themselves with their attitude and their words and actions against me, but they can't touch me. Sorry, you can't touch me. I'm the apple of God's eye. There's a wall of fire round about me. And around you also, if you believe it. But if you've got private ambitions in your life to get on in the world and be somebody, then I don't know. But if your aim in life is to live for the glory of God and you only want to do His will, I tell you, nobody can harm you. Absolutely not. Not a human being. And I don't need any black cat commandos around me to protect me. The angels are much better than them. Do you believe that? I hope so. All things, all people, all times. Because God is on my side against the devil.